What up, guys? It's your boy Forever One Wheel. We're back in the shop today. Today we are going to be rebuilding the 5-speed transmission on the Road Glide. We're going to make it bulletproof. We got all our parts in the corner here. We'll go through that shortly. But yeah, pretty much we're going to be installing 5-speed tranny in there. So just got to pull down this bike real quick and we'll get her loaded up. Bring her up. Got the old Road Glide up on the lift now, so I'm gonna have to start tearing down this whole primary side, drain all the oils, got to remove the exhaust. This is gonna be quite the event here, but we're looking to get it done, so here we go. Start draining the oil in the tranny, and that does not look good. It's supposed to be red, like red line oil is. So it's a good thing we're actually replacing this tranny internals, because something definitely is not good here. Just gonna get this filler cap out. So this is what healthy tranny oil looks like. See that? Pink? That does not look good. I'm so spoiled working on these lifts that, like, when I work in my own garage, it sucks. Pull the primary cover off. Be putting a carbon fiber clutch in here. Basically what you gotta do is, if you look in here, we have just a bunch of ATF fluid. So what we're gonna do is take out our plates. While we're doing our job, we're just gonna leave them soaking. That way they absorb nice, and by the time we're ready to put the clutch in. Steel plates in there, and then you have your friction plates. So this carbon fiber set is definitely going to be the better option in stock. So just dunk everything in the water. Sorry, not the water, the oil. This is the forbidden Kool-Aid. That's what I call this. Make sure everything's submerged too. Oof. Marinating. All right, that's it for now. We're gonna remove the clutch hub, and we're also gonna remove the compensator. So you're gonna need a 1 3/16 for the clutch hub, and then on these older models, you're gonna need an 1.5" socket for the front compensator. So get your air gun. This thing's pretty intense, honestly. We usually used to use a snap-on cordless gun, but it died on us, so we got the air one now. Also, this is reverse thread on here, so remember, lefty tighty, righty loosey on this one. So watch, let's zip this off. This thing is gnarly. Boom. It just zips it off, especially when it comes to the compensator on this thing. So when it comes to the compensator, this is regular thread. So left hand, lefty loosey, righty tighty on this one. Just like that. We zipped her right off. Now we just gotta do the old shimmy jimmy. This part always gets me, I don't know why. But toss that to the side. Pull this off too. And boom. The compensator and the clutch hub are removed. So now we just gotta take off the inner primary so that we get access to our, oh no, that race looks like it walked in. That's not good. So yeah, we just gotta get access to this and we'll touch base once we get there. Boom.
And go and support local and buy your Fuerte MFG parts.
For some reason it's too short, so there's like an inch of the grip that is just like floating.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, what is that for? He's like, oh, I don't know, they're fucking $40 or something. Are you kidding me? It's almost fucked. It's your little plug.
Oh no. So as you can see right here, the inner race walked in. So this right here. That inner race has walked in, which means we're gonna have to get Corey to weld onto that and pull it out. Thank God we're putting an S&S stay put race because that's got a taper that won't let this walk in. But yeah, that's definitely annoying. All right. Let's get this last nut. Oh, you bitch. Okay, well that's gone. I should probably get that though. Here we are just removing the old clutch cable. This thing's got to go. It's been on here for years, it looks like. So we're going to replace that with a nice brand new black Barnett cable in the same length. It will definitely save us from having a broken clutch cable in the future, and it'll look a lot nicer. Now we're moving on to removing the transmission end cover or side cover. And when we take apart this, we actually finally see that there was quite a bit of metal shavings inside. And it must have been one of the bearings or something that was toasted. I couldn't find which one it was, but they all definitely had a lot of play. What we're gonna do is we're gonna push this main shaft out a little bit because our race has walked in on the other side, as you can see. Walked in. Since we're taking the tranny out, we're just going to push this out a little bit so we can get the tool behind it. So that's what we're going to do. All right, let's hope I don't fuck this up.
Don't fuck it up.
Sick. So now you can see we have enough room to put the tool behind here. So as you can see, got the race off now, and we'll move on to the tranny. All right. And that is your 5-speed tranny right there. No, it's not even blown, but something definitely let go in there. The main drive gear, whatever you want to fucking call this thing. So that hefty bastard is out. The last time I was too scared. Okay, I actually might want to be away from this. maybe just go sit.
Are we running?
See, you did it so easily. So at this point here, what you want to do is completely clean out all your surfaces, everything, like anywhere a gasket's gonna sit, and obviously the whole interior of the tranny. You want to make sure there's no metal or anything left in there. So this is a little sneak peek of the Andrews gear set. It literally came with new shafts and new gears. It even came with bearings and seals already installed in the 5th gear. All I needed was basically seals, new shift forks, and new bearings to complete the kit. And here I'm just disassembling the old transmission and laying it out just like my boss told me to, so we can see how to put it together. Obviously, if you have a schematic, you can follow that. And then here we finally got the trap door with the old bearings out. The old bearings were plastic. The new ones have metal cages, so those are a lot better. So we put those in, and that will be that. Always make sure to put your snap rings back in those as well. And then, as you can see, these are the new shafts, which are way nicer quality than the old ones. I mean, obviously the old ones have a lot of miles on them as well, but I believe that the new shafts are a lot more heavy dutier. Splines are beefier. Everything's beefier with this Andrews gear set. It's pretty bulletproof, especially for my 95. Like it'll last a long time. But as you can see here, I'm trying to match up the gears as best as I can. There's a couple that we had to shuffle around that I got wrong once my boss came and double checked everything, but he helped me tremendously by building this whole tranny. He's pretty much taught me everything I know about Harleys so far. Like, I knew a little bit before working with him, but he's really accelerated my growth in this sport, and I'm grateful for that, because he's teaching me everything I need to know about wrenching on bikes, and I'm extremely grateful for that, because, you know, he's like the last of a dying breed, really. Not a lot of people have old school Harley shops like him anymore, especially around our area. There's only probably a few that are like really good or on his level, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just putting in the trapdoor and all the gear sets now. And then here we have the new Baker billet shift forks, which these things are actually night and day difference in comparison to these stock ones. Like, these are awesome. They look really nice. They're machined super nice. And we put the top cover back on, and then we started putting on the S&S Stay Put race. All right, so as you can see, we put the S&S Stay Put race. What this means is this is no longer going to walk in because it's tapered. So we put red Loctite in there, and she's good to go. Now we'll get assembling the inner primary and outer primary. So here, as you can see, I'm just Scotch brightening all my surfaces here to make sure that they seal properly. Very important on Harleys. We're also going to replace the inner bearing there and the starter shaft and the O-ring. And then here we are just putting the new carbon clutch in after we've had it soaking pretty much all day since we've been taking apart and working on this job. I threw it in the bath earlier in the video, which was at the beginning of the day when we started on this job. And the fluid that we like to use in the Harleys is called Amsoil ATF. Works really well with these clutches and prevents them from sticking. So that's why we did that. And then here's the exhaust going back on. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward, honestly. You just kind of piece everything back together the way you took it apart, and make sure you use all your proper torque specs. I mean, some things you can't fit a torque wrench in, so you're just gonna have to go by feel. And if you've been doing it long enough, you can know what that is. Just like my boss, you know, he always makes fun of me because I like to use a torque wrench. I like to know that it's torqued properly with the torque wrench. It's just a me thing. Like, there's plenty of really good mechanics out there that can honestly tell by feel, just like my boss can, because they've been just doing it for so long, you know what I mean? But for me, for some reason, my brain feels good when I use a torque wrench, and I don't know why, that's just me, but some things you can't use a torque wrench on because you can't fit it in there, so you have to be okay with not using it sometimes. All right, guys, so unfortunately, I wasn't able to film the rest of that last night because it just got hectic. I was pretty busy and focused and kind of let it slide. I wish I got more footage, but after we installed the tranny inside the case here, all I had to do basically was line up the shift forks up there. So my boss came and helped me to line those up. If you follow the schematic on your service manual, it should pretty much tell you straightforward how to do it. After that, we put the shift drum on top, and basically from there it was just torque everything down, make sure that the shift drum and the forks were all in line where they're supposed to be. And then basically we just ran through the whole gear set to make sure that everything was shifting smoothly. Once we verified that the whole gear set was shifting smoothly, I proceeded to put on the gasket and then the top cover. So we got that back all hooked up, pretty straightforward. Just lock tight your bolts, 110 to 120 inch-pounds for a quarter 20 bolts. I also then installed my side cover, which has all that mechanism in there. We also then buttoned up the primary side too. One of these days I'll do a primary teardown video for anybody that's got questions on how to rebuild that. Unfortunately, it's just getting really late in the day and I didn't get to filming any of the rest of the stuff, putting it back together. But if you watched how I tore it down, it's kind of just a reverse with some things that people don't know here and there. You just, honestly, if you follow your service manual, it's literally like Lego, but for adults. So I unfortunately had a leak yesterday on the ride home. I didn't notice till I got in my driveway and saw that my bike was pissing oil. But basically what happened was the filler neck over here wasn't torqued down enough. And I thought I had it torqued down enough, but unfortunately with this Bassani exhaust, this bracket is really in the way. So using like a ballpoint Allen, unfortunately wasn't tightening these enough, and it was just stripping them. So I couldn't go anymore and I couldn't fit anything in there to kind of get it tighter. This one, yeah, I could, but this one over here, it wasn't. So it was leaking right out of the bottom here, unfortunately. And yeah, so today what I did was I did a little recess cut in the actual filler neck itself, because with this exhaust, it's a pain in the ass, but in order to take off this bracket, you have to take off the filler neck, which is kind of annoying. So now I made it so that I can access this bolt that would normally be covered by the filler neck. So now you'll be able to take this bracket off without having to fuck with this. And I could also tighten this properly because this wasn't in the way. So it's just not gonna be in the way. Because like I said before, this was covered, this bolt was covered. So you'd have to take off the filler neck in order to take off this bracket for the exhaust, which is super annoying. So now that I've modified that, I don't have to touch that anymore. And this can come off as is, just slip it out of the way. And also, if I ever do need to take this off, I'm not gonna have the annoying bracket in the front anymore because I can take that off to tighten those properly. So that's what I was trying to say there. In the process of going through here, we're just gonna clean up some zip ties and whatnot, route a couple lines and things better so that nothing rubs through and potentially screws me up in the future. And since I had to pull the exhaust, I gotta wait till I go to work tomorrow to get some fresh exhaust gaskets because those are just one-time use. You know what I mean? Once you crack them, they're gonna leak. So you got to fix those ASAP because, you know, it's not good for your motor. That's pretty much it for the tranny swap essentially. But yeah, we finished putting on our exhaust. We got the fresh gaskets in there. And yeah, that was pretty much all there is to it. Overall, it's actually quite a noticeable difference, especially when you're shifting gears. Everything feels like butter. You don't get any of that like clunkiness anymore. It's just really smooth because they're back cut gears. It's just really, really smooth when they go into the next gear and whatnot. I'm pretty stoked with this setup now on the bagger. Hopefully it'll last us quite a long time. Obviously, as you know, stunt riding bikes, shit gets abused and stuff breaks, but hopefully we built this bulletproof enough, knock on wood, that we don't have to replace anything for a very long time, because honestly, I'm just at that point right now where I've wrenched so much on it that like I just want to ride it and enjoy it and see what I can do on it, you know? We're still waiting for bags to come back from paint. Those things are still in paint jail, unfortunately, but hopefully that will be over soon so we can get the bags back on, because it just looks super weird ripping this bike, no bags. It is what it is. And yeah, so that's pretty much it on the install, guys. If you got any questions, feel free to ask. But I'd like to thank my my boss, Corey, for helping me with this a lot. He's been teaching me a lot. So he showed me how to rebuild a 6-speed, and then he just showed me how to rebuild my 5-speed. I definitely have to do it a bunch more times to be able to get it down pat without any issues. But yeah, it's a learning process, and pretty much the bagger is how we want it to be. The only thing I think I might make in the future is maybe some billet triple trees. We'll see. I'm looking to get some more billet parts made for it. But we also have another video coming up soon on installing the billet oil pan that I made. That's definitely still going to go on the bike. I'll have my points covers here for sale. If anybody's interested, hit me up. We also have shifter linkages for sale and derby covers with the slider. There will be a refresh of these coming soon. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.